as the epidemic hits the worst levels of the season. And Dr. Richard Besser is here with the latest on that. And Doc, how bad is it right now?
Yeah, I mean, this is probably the peak period. You know, if you take a look at the map, last week when we talked about this, 15 states were reporting high levels of flu. Now that's up to 23 states plus New York City. So thousands of people in the hospital, and it's spreading. The South, the Northeast, the Midwest are getting slammed.
So how do I know the difference if I just have a cold and a cough or if I have the flu?
Yeah, I mean, I get this question all the time, and there's big overlap. Let me show you here. So if you have a cold, the symptoms really involve up here in your upper airway: sneezing, itchiness, runny nose, congestion, maybe a little bit of fever. Okay, but if you, and that tells you you have a cold.
Okay.
If your symptoms involve cough, body aches, a high fever that comes on suddenly, those are symptoms that it's involving your lungs and that it's the flu. But a lot of people, it's somewhere in between.
So if I have the flu, what do I do? I already have it. What do I do?
Well, so if you're an otherwise healthy person, you're going to treat the same. You're going to rest. You're going to drink lots of fluid. It doesn't really matter. But if you're in a high-risk group, you really need to know. So a pregnant woman, a very young child under 2, the elderly, people with asthma, they should go and get tested quickly because there's an antiviral drug that can make them feel better, but it has to be started in the first 2 days.
Now, what about a cough? A lot of people, we thought George is coughing now. I don't think George has had the flu.
Yeah.
But what about the cough?
Well, you know, after you have the flu, there's several reasons you can have a cough that lingers, and they're all very important. The first one is your airways stay really sensitive. So cold air, any irritants, after the flu, you're going to be having coughing fits for about a month. The second reason is something called bronchitis. So down there in those airways that get inflamed with the flu, after the flu, sometimes the little muscles in there get really twitchy, almost like you have asthma. And the treatment for bronchitis and that chest cough is an inhaler, not an antibiotic. But the third reason is the one that we worry about, and that's pneumonia. So if you're getting better from the flu and you get a high fever and a cough, you need to be seen, you get a chest x-ray and make sure it hasn't developed into pneumonia, because when the elderly die from the flu, it's frequently from that pneumonia.
So go see your doctor.
Yeah, if you've got those symptoms, you don't want to ignore it. But, you know, it's still not too late to get a flu shot. If you're in an area that's experiencing the flu, you didn't get the flu shot, go ahead. It takes about 2 weeks to kick in, but you can get some prevention there. And the other thing is, if you've got the flu, don't go to work, don't send your kids to school, because that makes it much, much worse for everybody.
I appreciate you, Doc. All that flu talk, give me a pound.
That's right. See, no hands, it's all a fist bump.
Wow, that was great information. I say always get that by a professional who know what he's saying. Live from my house in Northwestern, George will survive.
No.